You would never do this with your phone, right? But these Sonim devices are unharmed because these are super rugged devices from Sonim. Let's talk about it. In my hands is the Sonim XP Pro Thermal and the Sonim XP Pro 5G. Now these devices are super rugged. Let's start with the thermal. Why is it called thermal? A FLIR thermal camera is in this device because this is meant for industrial uses. Let's take a look at that thermal camera imaging. So right now you can see the thermal camera and how hot I am right now. It's a little warm, but that's okay. You might not use thermal imaging all the time, but this is useful for contractors and builders because they can see what's going on behind walls under the ground before they start breaking things open. This Sonim device is also very thin. What they've done is they've put the battery built in. It's no longer removable like previous devices. And what that lets you do is have a thin device that is super rugged. Now inside is a Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 processor. It's not the latest, but it's pretty dang fast. 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal space. For people who want a ton of storage on their device, guess what? You can add a micro SD card in this up to 2 terabytes. And by the way, adding the card doesn't mess up its waterproof spec. This is actually mil-spec 810H, which means it can survive drops and falls, IP67, IP69K. If you don't know what that means, check out PCMag.com. We've got all of that explained. Nearly everything I've said about the XP Pro Thermal does apply to the XP Pro 5G, except there's no thermal imaging camera on this one. It's got a 50 megapixel camera, a 13 megapixel wide, and a 2 megapixel macro so you can get close shots. This has a 50 megapixel main and that FLIR camera. Now you can't take a thermal selfie with the front facing camera, but you can with the back camera. And I'm gonna tap this customizable button as a shutter. Since these are meant for the work site, they also have ports that you can attach a push-to-talk accessory. So if you want to use push-to-talk, you can press right there. Those accessories can actually screw in, so they're very secure. Let's take a look around the phone again. We've got these little flaps covering up the USB-C ports. Sonim tells me they are not necessary to keep its waterproofing. It's just to keep gunk and stuff out if you want to. They're also removable because they trust you to use this properly. Both of these devices have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, which is huge. Again, they're not removable like other models, but again, that's to make it thinner. They charge at 18 watts. It has wireless charging as well. It really is quite impressive how rugged and thin these devices are, because you might see other phones out there and they're like, we can't make them tough and waterproof and thin. Sonim's doing it. Now, they're not going after the consumer market. What they're saying is they're going after the prosumer market. So instead of leaving your work phone at work because it's a bulky brick, you might want to take this home with you and use it. One of my favorite things about devices like these is how tough they are. I know I've said they're rugged and everything, but yeah, you can drop them. But did you know that you could throw things like this into bleach and they will survive? Previous Sonim phones have been left in jet fuel and they only died because the battery died. That's how tough, that's how sealed these devices are. They are meant for the workplace. They can survive pretty much anything. Frankly, as a clumsy person, I would love this kind of technology to be in all the phones. Why not add durability? You can do it with thinness. Why not add micro SD card ports, expandability, and it's still waterproof? Here's my message to companies that are not Sonim. There's no excuse not to make thin, rugged phones, because Sonim can do it, so can you. But until then, I'm gonna applaud Sonim for making such tough, thin devices. We're gonna have full reviews of these at PCMag.com. Check those out when you get a chance. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. And let us know if you would trade in your phone for a rugged one, because you don't even need a case. What case? That's gone too.